6:01 now on this Friday morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on Up with KREM. I'm Channing Curtis. Well, let's get right to the weather here with Nicole Hernandez, who is joining us again this morning. Because Nicole, I know all anybody really is talking about is just how hot it was yesterday, and then asking how hot is it going to be today.
Oh yeah, if you were outside at all yesterday, you know that it was extremely hot. And heck, even if you're inside and don't have air conditioning, my house was at 87 degrees at one point yesterday. So we're all struggling through it. We know it's tough, but the good news is we are getting through it. For now, though, I want to appreciate this beautiful look overlooking Spokane there. You can see the orange glow of the sunrise, and man, that sunshine is keeping us warm right now. Take a look. We are almost to 70 already here in Spokane at 68 degrees, and it's similar across the entire region. Very warm overnight temperatures because of this heat wave that we're seeing. 70s in Wenatchee and Moses Lake, 68 in Spokane. Coeur d'Alene dropped down to 60, and Sandpoint dropped down to 59 for right now. Okay, so taking a look at our excessive heat warning, I want to talk about it again. We've been talking about it all week, but the National Weather Service just extended our excessive heat warning until 11 p.m. on Sunday now. So expect those hot temperatures in the 90s, upward of 100-degree temperatures across our region through your Sunday now. What that looks like for today with your hot temperatures is warming up very quickly. You can see all those sunshine icons. That sunshine is not going away today. We're going to be reaching the 80s by 9 a.m., the 90s by 11 a.m., then 100 degrees by 2 p.m., topping out. This one says 102. Other models saying topping out at 103 degrees, which would be record-breaking heat.
Nicole mentioned the heat will continue through this weekend, and several cooling centers remain open across Spokane. And if you need help getting to one of those cooling centers, STA is making it easy. If you are traveling to any of the cooling center locations, STA is offering free rides if you're unable to afford the bus fare. All you have to do is tell the driver that you're going to a cooling center and cannot pay the normal fee. So the Central, Shadle Park, Liberty Park, and Hilliard libraries will be open through Sunday with extended hours to provide an air-conditioned space for residents. Now on Sunday, the library hours will be from 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now, this STA transportation is so critical, especially for our vulnerable populations like our seniors. And these hot temperatures could lead to heat stroke if proper care is not taken. KREM 2's Malia Kamal spoke to a healthcare professional to find out what is the best method of protecting yourself against all of this heat. She's joining us live now this morning. And Malia, can you tell us more about what you learned from health experts?
Yes, Channing, good morning. Now, according to the CDC, the elderly population is more likely to have a hard time dealing with the heat. Their body is most likely have a harder time adjusting to the heat. Now, they're more likely to have chronic medical conditions that change the normal body's response to warm temperatures. Also, if they're on medication, it can affect the body's ability to control sweat. Now, I spoke to Matt Fleming, who has 20+ years of experience in the medical field and has seen firsthand the effects of heat stroke. Tips he offers is staying hydrated, shutting your blinds, and to not use your oven, and freeze items like socks, sheets, and washcloths.
I think using cooling cloths, keeping them by your chair, put them in a cooler with some ice. Put them on your neck, your elbows, your wrists, your knees, where your pulse points are, where the doctor takes your pulse when you go to the doctor. If you cool those areas, your body will enjoy that effect, that cooling effect, much longer.
Fleming adds that it's important to get ahead of things by recognizing the signs. So muscle cramps, dizziness, being tired, having a headache can be symptoms of heat exhaustion. If these symptoms continue and are not treated, they can advance to heat stroke. So this is why it's important to get ahead of this. And when someone stops sweating, this can be a real scary sign and a telling sign that they need medical attention. So it's just one great tool is to have something so simple as a washcloth with you and to put it in water and to keep it near those pulse points. In Spokane Valley, Malia Kamal, KREM 2 News.
Now we know it's going to remain hot in the inland Northwest for the next few days. So if you would like a link to all of the cooling centers that are open across Spokane and even a look at our forecast, text the word heat to the number 509-448-2000 and we'll send you a link with all of that information right to your phone. It's 6:05, time for your morning rush. More news in less time. The man who murdered a Newport teen nearly 2 years ago was sentenced to more than 18 years in prison. Riley Hillstott was found guilty last month on 6 charges related to Jason Fox's death, including second-degree murder. Fox's body was found in an isolated area near Newport in October of 2020. Tomorrow, Spokane's very own Juliana Pena is back in the octagon to defend her bantamweight title. UFC 277 features a rematch between Pena and Amanda Nunes. Last December, Pena had a historic upset against Nunes, who had her first loss since 2014. Now, CBS Sports is reporting that Nunes is the favorite to win, but like last time, everything is still up in the air. That fight starts at 7 p.m. A Seattle ferry crashed yesterday morning. Now, the crash caused some damage to cars and significant damage to the ferry. It collided with what's called an offshore dolphin. That's a terminal structure that helps guide boats into the dock. Thankfully, no one was injured during the crash, and that's a look at your morning rush. A reminder this morning that Washington's primary election is now 4 days away. Ballots must be postmarked by this upcoming Tuesday or returned to a ballot drop box by 8 p.m. that night. Now, on Election Day, KREM 2 will have team coverage on all of the big races happening across our region. So if you would like to know more about the candidates that are on your ballot this primary, we put together a voter guide for you. Text the word VOTE to the number 509-448-2000, and we'll send you a link with all of the details right to your phone. The United States now has more monkeypox cases than any other country in the world. The CDC says the number of cases is only going to rise. There are currently 4,600 confirmed cases in the United States. Washington State's Department of Health is reporting 104 cases, a majority of which are coming from King County. So far, no cases have been reported in Spokane County. Now, the Health and Human Services Secretary announced yesterday that the department will distribute 786,000 newly available doses of the vaccine. The Biden administration is still weighing whether to declare monkeypox a public health emergency, which would open up more resources to fight it.
Bottom line is we need to stay ahead of this and be able to end this outbreak.
Federal health officials say they will prioritize getting the vaccine to areas with the greatest number of people at risk. The CDC says in 99% of cases, the patient reported a rash. The other 3 most common symptoms were tiredness, fever, and swollen lymph nodes. Now, with monkeypox cases on the rise across the state and the nation, Spokane Regional Health District is trying to get a jump on the disease before it gets here. SRHD is reaching out to people who have been identified as high risk and offering them the vaccine. Now, at this time, the health district has a limited supply with just 320 doses. SRHD says high-risk groups include those with weakened immune systems, LGBTQ members who have had intimate contact with other people in the last 14 days, and anyone who's had skin-to-skin contact with someone with an active case of monkeypox. Spokane AIDS Network Executive Director Grant Ogren says several of their clients have been asking questions about the virus.
Just a lot of people that are scared, a lot of people that are having a little bit of a PTSD moment relating back to the 80s when the AIDS crisis started and people weren't getting a lot of information.
Now, Washington should receive additional doses of the vaccine in late August. Now, in the meantime, in San Francisco, a state of emergency begins Monday as the city tries to slow the spread of monkeypox there. City leaders say that they will not implement behavior restrictions like they did with COVID-19. Now, the city has recorded a third of California's cases so far, with over 400 cases across the Bay Area. The city says it will have 4,200 doses of the monkeypox vaccine to start distributing on Monday. San Francisco is the first major U.S. city to declare monkeypox a public health emergency.